This is your host, Chad Bauman. With me, as always, my partner, Trey Daubert. Trey, welcome back. You just got back into the country, what was it, this past weekend, right?
Got back on the 4th of July, so I was there for like a week. I gotta say, I loved London. I have 2 complaints, though, Chad. Number 1, no air conditioning. Europe, get your shit together. Number 2, I didn't have an ice cube for a week. I was drinking warm water.
That's nasty.
I don't know how they do it. Other than that, I had a great time. I loved it. I had some good fish and chips. Did a river cruise. Saw the London Eye. Saw the big clock. The Buckingham Palace. Went to the game. Went inside the soccer stadium. Bunch of other things. It was cool, though. I liked it.
See, you're lucky because when I went there, I don't know if it was the same for you. When I went last year for the Eagles game, Big Ben was all covered up. They were doing a bunch of construction and shit on it.
Yeah, it's still like that. It's still like that.
Oh, okay.
It's like halfway done, though.
Yeah, no, when I was there, it was like you hit like a certain height on the fucking clock, and there was just scaffolding. You couldn't even see it. It was just covered.
Nah, it's like halfway done. Here's what the one thing I do know, I don't think I want another fry for like 2 months. I had fries for like every meal. I don't know how these people eat fries all the time. It's served with everything. And they're all steak fries. They're not even crispy little tiny fries.
Yeah, I don't know. It's their fries are definitely a little bit different there. You can get steak fries crispy if you wanted. Just tell them like, hey, keep them in the fryer a little bit longer. Unless they're not frying them, they're actually baking them. I don't know.
They're chips, Chad.
Well, yeah, they're chips over there. That's what they call it.
All right, Chad, let's get into it. First, UFC 239. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording. You made a great analogy. John Jones. God, is he frustrating. He wins, but why does he got to do that to you?
He's weird to watch. Like, he's, again, maybe the pound-for-pound best fighter in, like, the UFC. Like, I know people always like to say Mighty Mouse, but, I don't know, my vote would probably be John Jones. Whether that's steroids, crack, or something else, I don't know what's going on there, but that's not the point of this. But he sometimes I just feel like he doesn't try.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like it's so easy for him. It just feels like he's not trying sometimes.
It drives me nuts. I would definitely say he's got to be the best fighter, but the only guy that can beat him is himself. Like, I watched him yesterday. It looked like he was putting in about 75% effort. I saw something, he threw like 90 less strikes and still dominated the fight. Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I said this to you. Watching him is like watching the Warriors. Like just sometimes he just comes out. He's still gonna kick your ass, but it just looks lethargic.
Yeah. But when he's on, he fucking kills you.
Absolutely.
Cormier, he put to sleep and no problem.
Yeah, the second fight with Gus. No trouble at all there.
Goodbye.
But this fight, I felt like he could have finished him in the second round, and I was just still waiting for it. Like, come on, John, elbow.
Here we
John,
go.
get him.
Come on, here we go. Oh, it drives you nuts. Still defended the title, though. The big night for me, or the big moment for me was...
Oh, real quick, before we...
Go ahead.
Just one last thing about John Jones. Keep in mind, because we like you said, the only person that can beat John Jones is John Jones. If he didn't have all his issues outside the ring, you know, who knows if that title would have ever left his hands. 1. 2,
Probably not.
Probably not. 2, the only loss on his record was a disqualification. So he really hasn't been beaten ever.
It's hilarious. Oh my God. The big moment, though. Watching Ben Askren get knocked out in 5 seconds.
You got knocked the out.
God, that was incredible.
I missed it. I can't believe I missed it. Like, the fight had just started, and I don't know why. I was watching, and I just looked down for some reason, literally for 3 seconds, and all I hear is, "Oh my God!" Oh! People going crazy, and I look up, and he's just laying on the mat, getting a punch in the face. I'm like, really? Like that? Just over?
I thought it was so funny how they kept showing his like training before the fight, and he literally practiced that like 100 times. It showed like him warming up, and he practiced it 800 times because he knew he was going to do something like that. Just lean in with one of those bad shots because he has no striking. It was crazy.
But that for me, and I don't know, maybe it's different for you because you were more of like a, I don't know, your style of wrestling was different from mine. But watching Ben Askren take that shot, that was embarrassing for me as a wrestler. And I remember I was at Miller's Ale House. Me and my buddies, we took over this booth with these random guys that were there to watch the fight that we never met before. We were just looked at them. We were like, "Can we sit with y'all?" They were like, "Yeah, come on in." So we sat down with these random dudes and we were watching the fight. And I said to him, the reason why he got knocked out is because he took a bad shot. Like no stiffness in his back, just bent 90 degrees at the waist. Come on, Ben. That's midgets level stuff. You gotta take. If he had took a proper shot, he could have saw the knee coming at his face and probably done something about it. Maybe not got knocked out, but he had his head down. It's terrible.
That's from an Olympic level wrestler too. Crazy.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is leading up to this fight, he just went up to like New York or some shit and wrestled Jordan Burroughs.
And got his ass kicked.
So it's embarrassing for me as a wrestler. I'm like, come on, man, can't make us look bad like that.
Masvidal won the night. His knockout was one thing. The way he celebrated, where he just fucking fell over, was great. Then the post-fight interview, after everything was done, the reporter asked him whether the punches were necessary. He goes, absolutely necessary. He tells him to go watch soccer. Oh, it was awesome. Just awesome.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Well, that's because Ben Askren came into the UFC and acted like he was, big dick on campus. Like, he wins one fight, and then he's like, oh, I want a title shot. Give me a title shot. Well, calm down, guy. You get a couple more fights under your belt first.
All he does is chirp people, too. Boom, roasted. That's all he does. Is chirp people.
The funny part about it, too, is I love the memes that are on social media right now. One of the ones I shared last night after he got knocked out, and the internet's so fast. Like 30 minutes after it happened, I'm sharing this meme. It's all the characters from Toy Story are sitting on the bed, and they're like, oh, quick, Andy's coming. And Ben Askren's like on the bed, knocked out with him. Laid down. It's the funniest thing.
Oh, that's great.
And then there's another one. It's the little guy poking him with the stick. Like, come on, do something. Oh, it's great. They're perfect.
I love big fight nights. It's awesome. We miss anything else, UFC?
Yeah, just Amanda Nunes. That's I don't even know what to say about her.
She's a monster.
Yeah, anyone who thought Holly Holm going into that fight had a shot, no, I don't. You're just wrong.
Holly Holm could never beat someone that's too technical because every time she throws a punch, you know it's coming because she makes a noise. Every time she throws a punch, it's huh, 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 before she throws a punch. It's so predictable. So she had no shot.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that because she's a world champion kickboxer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's got to be pretty good. Like, she won world championships before she joined the UFC. That's why she tooled up Ronda Rousey like that, but...
I never thought that Ronda Rousey could kick my ass. I kind of think Nunes could beat me up.
And let's lay the smackdown.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
But I never thought Rousey could, even when she was dominating. Because there's no way she would throw me around like that. But Nunes, she has everything. She has the hands, the wrestling, choking. She's got everything.
I think they asked her, Joe Rogan asked her, like, when she was still in the octagon, it's like, oh, well, you've ran through everybody else in the division. What's next? My buddy was standing next to me. He's like, a man? It's like, well, let's be honest. Like, if I'm a chick in the UFC, like, I'll fight anybody but her.
Yeah.
There's no shot to win if you fight her.
The way she beat up Cyborg, that convinced me. Because I was like, Cyborg might get me, but the way she manhandled Cyborg like that, no, yeah, forget it.
Yeah, I think she might have a shot at John Jones. I'm just saying. No.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that was just a joke, but.
All right, good UFC stuff. We can move on to the NBA first. Give Chad a follow at Lilfooted, LALFWOTED. Me a follow at Trey Dalbert. Check out the website, vendettasportsmedia.com.
Do it. Do it.
And let's get into some NBA stuff. Where do you want to start, Chad? Where do we begin? There's a lot of things happening.
I guess we might as well start with what was kind of the biggest news. The Clippers.
You start, because I want to see where you go with this.
Okay, so we're waiting. Free agency's going through. Deals are getting done, and Kawhi is patiently waiting. Next thing you know, Kawhi Leonard pops up to the Clippers. That wasn't necessarily a shock, but it was like, okay, thought maybe he would go back to Toronto. There was rumblings about him going to LeBron, but I didn't think he was ever going to go to LA, because I don't think he would want to be second fiddle on the team, especially after just winning the playoffs by himself as the guy in Toronto. But for me, the craziest thing was waking up on Saturday morning and all of a sudden, waking up to headlines that Paul George just got traded to the Clippers. In my opinion, I like them acquiring Paul George, but I think they gave up way too much to get him.
See, I disagree. I think Jerry West did an absolutely phenomenal job here. He turned Blake Griffin. Let's slow this down. He turned Blake Griffin into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 2 first-round picks, and Tobias Harris. He then turned Tobias Harris into 2 first-round picks and Landry Shamet. That's 4 first-round picks right there that basically were in the trade. And one of the other pieces was Gilgeous-Alexander, who they got in the trade, and another piece, Danilo Gallinari, who they pretty much had to trade anyway to clear a second max spot. So really, what the hell did they give up? I thought he did an outstanding job. I really did. I don't see anybody beating them. I don't know what the Vegas odds are right now, but I would put a significant amount of money that the Clippers win the title next year.
I don't know if I'd say they win the title. I think they're going to win the West. But that could be coming off a lot of Kawhi hype. I mean, they got Pat Beverly, lockdown defender. Kawhi, obviously a lockdown defender. Paul George is a lockdown defender, and he's got the offense to go with it.
But that's kind of my point, though. Like, I think Kawhi and Paul George is already the best duo in the league. But let's just take them out of it for a second. You have this Clippers team who is a top 5 defense without those 2 guys. Now you add in Kawhi Leonard, who's probably the best defender in the league, and Paul George, who's probably the best defender in the league. This team's awesome defensively. You add in Pat Beverly, who's the biggest pest in the league, who can shoot. He's a good leader. He can rebound the ball, defend any player. You have Montrezl Harrell, who's one of the best young bigs in the league. Vaka Zubac, who can score down low. He's a great young center. He's a good rim runner. You got Lou Williams, who's electric off the bench every single year. He's the 6th man of the year.
They are who we thought they were.
Go down the list. Like, they added Mo Harkless. They have those Florida State guys who I really like. This team is loaded. I don't see how anybody's beating them. I really don't. Landry Shamet, I think he led the NBA in 3-point percentage of any rookie last year. He was lights out. I think they're awesome. I don't see how anybody's beating them.
I agree. I think their team is ridiculous. I think they're stacked. But again, I think that I feel like also the league in this free agency, it balanced out a lot with all the different moves that ended up being made. So I mean, again, I think they will probably win the West. No argument there. But to say that they're automatically gonna win the finals, I'm not ready to go there yet.
Well, besides injury, I would say that. If, like, Kawhi tears his ACL, then forget it. But I'm saying this team, decently healthy, they're winning it.
Again, I think there's a strong chance, but I don't know if I'm ready to say they're my
think
my
about
pick
it
to
like
win
this.
right now.
This Clippers team played the Warriors in the first round when the Warriors had Durant healthy and Klay Thompson healthy and all those guys healthy. They won 2 games in the first round and probably could have won a third. That was without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They gave this Warriors team problems, a healthy Warriors team problems, because of how gritty and tough and awesome this young core was already. Now you just added what is probably the best player in the NBA and another top 4 or 5 player in the NBA? Good hell.
I don't want to give up too much. I don't want to give out too much yet till I get there, but I have a team in mind is why I'm saying that I don't think they're going to win just yet.
Oh, here we go.
And I have a team in mind. I don't want to give that up just yet, but you'll see.
I can't imagine who that would be, Chad.
You're going to see when we get there, but I have a team in mind.
Oh, I have no idea who this could be. All right.
But I still want to say this, though. Again, I think you have to go and get Paul George on this team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, dude's coming off of like a major injury. I think the price tag was a lot.
For Paul George?
Coming off a major injury, yeah.
Well, it was the shoulder. It's not like he broke his leg again. But the guy was an MVP candidate all year. And it wasn't like they were just trading for Paul George. They were basically trading for both guys.
Well, he still had a season-ending. Well, yeah, I guess if you look at it that way, but he still had a season-ending injury last year. He's coming off surgery.
Because Kawhi Leonard said, "If you get Paul George, you get me too." So you're trading for both guys. If you're gonna risk not getting Kawhi Leonard because you won't trade for Paul George, it's a no-brainer. You have to do it. And you just collected 4 first-round picks from other trades over the years.
I don't know. I think the Thunder were desperate. I think maybe you could have got it for less, but again, if they win a championship, what I'm saying right now is not going to matter. So
I think they're going to win 2 or 3. I really think they're that good.
And that's another good point. They locked in Kawhi for 4 years, and they got Paul George locked in too. So
should we transition to the Thunder?
We can go to the Thunder.
Okay. Here's a predictable question for me. Chad, is there any reason why anyone should defend Russell Westbrook at this point? Because this is example number 875 where another player wants out of his contract because he can't stand playing with Russell Westbrook. The Shams Charania reported that Paul George couldn't stand playing with him and he wanted out and got his way, and now he's playing with the Clippers. This is not the first time that somebody didn't like playing with Russell Westbrook. It's about the 70th example. And now Oklahoma City's still over the tax after this trade, and they're f***ed. It's over.
I don't know how I feel about that report that Paul George didn't want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore.
Did you see the video?
What video? No, I didn't see a video.
Oh, it's Paul George in Vegas, and he's like, "How do you feel about coming home?" And he's fucking celebrating. It's awesome. Oh, man, it's great.
Oh, well, yeah, he's going back to his hometown. Like, yeah, he's probably going to be happy about it.
The guy requested a trade after signing a 4-year extension. There was obviously some sort of problem.
I don't know if that means it's Westbrook, because I remember Paul George, when he got there, needed to get a deal done, gets a deal done, and he specifically said he got the deal done because of Westbrook. I feel like what there would have had to been a crazy dramatic change over 1 year for him to just be like, you know what, never mind, I don't like this guy no more.
Hey, I'm not going to be a real patient guy now.
Yeah, did you see what happened this year? He shot 36% in the playoffs and couldn't stand playing with Westbrook.
I don't know if I'm putting it all on Westbrook. I think you just hate Westbrook.
Why do we got to keep doing this song and dance? It's evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence. Can't you just get on my side here? It's just more and more clear every day. And now Zach Lowe writes the other day that the guy has negative trade value. That they would have to attach first-round picks just to get rid of him. If he was so good, you wouldn't have to do that.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Are they going to trade him?
Yeah, I think they're trying to. Somebody will make a play for him.
I will laugh hysterically for the team that overpays for him.
Anything else on the Thunder, Trey?
No. Waste of time. They've always been a waste of time.
Enough is enough!
All right, where do you want to go now? The NBA is your oyster.
All right, here's another one. People are making it out to seem like, ooh, LA rivalry. I don't think the Lakers are that good. I really don't. If they don't win a first-round series, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying they won't. I really don't think they're that good. This team is going to get torched on the defensive end.
You suck.
DeMarcus Cousins was pretty much unplayable during the year because he was so bad defensively. Every team just ran the whoever offense on him. Rajon Rondo is not the same guy at this point, and LeBron has really never needed a point guard because he decides he wants to be the point guard at all times.
Well, Rondo might not even be there. So
he signed. He signed.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am a little bit behind there. Last time I heard, they had told Rondo, you got to take the veteran minimum to stay.
2-year contract. He's stayed. So, Kuzma's a horrible defender. Quinn Cook's a terrible defender. This team is going to get torched. And LeBron has been a absolutely egregious defender the past 2 years. This team is going to get torched on the defensive end. Number 2, Anthony Davis is not a good fit with LeBron. We've seen this song and dance 800 times. Kevin Love, not a great fit. Got worse playing with LeBron. Chris Bosh, not a great fit. Got worse playing with LeBron. Anthony Davis is that exact guy. And we already know what's going to happen. He's going to say, you go stand in the corner, and you're going to wait for me to pass you the ball, and he's going to have to become a three-point shooter, which that's not what he is. LeBron doesn't like playing with centers because LeBron needs the lane to drive, and anytime he plays with a big guy, it just clogs up the lane. It's not a good fit. It really isn't. He needs shooters.
But are we sure that's what's going to happen? Because I feel like it's different with Anthony Davis, where Chris Bosh and Kevin Love, they were guys that were already shooting three-pointers when they got paired up with LeBron versus Anthony Davis, who, yeah, he can hit a three-pointer every once in a while, but it's not like one of the things he does as a mainstay of his offense.
Yeah, but that wasn't Kevin Love either. Kevin Love led the league in rebounding like 3 years in a row because he was mean-mugging guys down in the post with the Timberwolves. He completely changed his body to play with LeBron, and same with Bosh. Bosh was really good in the post with the Raptors.
The rebounds were more defensive, or they were defensive rebounds. It's not like he was pulling down crazy. He was pulling down crazy offensive rebound numbers.
Yeah, I think he led the league in offensive and defensive rebounds with the Timberwolves, like consecutive years.
We'll have to look that up.
I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure he led the league in both. That's how he played. He was big with the Timberwolves. He slimmed down his whole body to play with LeBron. I don't think it's a good fit. There hasn't been one center who's really improved with LeBron. There isn't one. The guys he plays well with are shooters. Now, I think Danny Green's a good pickup. I think Quinn Cook's a nice little pickup, but if that's going to be enough to make them a title contender, forget it. It's over. I don't think they're that good. I really don't.
Well, Anthony Davis, he's not a center anyway. He's a 4.
He thinks he's a 4.
I mean, that's what he's played his whole career.
He thinks he's a 4, but he's really not.
You
really think the Lakers are that good? Like, people are saying, oh, the Clippers, the Lakers, who do you got? I don't think it's close.
I think it's still going to depend on what these LeBron teams have always depended on. It's going to be how far LeBron can take them. That's how it was in Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly, because he doesn't make any of his teammates better.
Well, we'll see.
And now he's old. This is his 17th year in the league. Like,
yeah, Tom Brady's playing till 50. LeBron can play till 50.
I know, but I'm saying the guy we saw last year wasn't like LeBron James 5 years ago. If that guy that we saw last year is the LeBron James this year, they're screwed. They're done.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got his boys there now, so he's probably not going to quit like he did last year, sitting all the way on the edge of the bench by himself.
I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team?
All right, but I'm saying, like, are we 100% sure we're not seeing that guy again? It's his 17th year. You sure he hasn't declined? Are we going to say he really hasn't declined? You're 100% sure he's going to be better next year?
I would have to see and find out. I don't know.
I'm not saying he will or won't, but we're going to sit here and say 100% LeBron James is going to be a top 5 player in the league. I can't say that. That's not a lock by any means. The chemistry with him and Anthony Davis, that's not a lock. And their depth is horrible. Who's their depth? JaVale McGee's going to put on a show?
You suck.
I mean, come on. How are they really that good? This team missed the playoffs last year.
I'm not sitting here saying they're world beaters. I'm just saying.
But everybody else is sitting here saying the Lakers can win the title. I don't see that. I really don't.
I think they're going to be carried as far as LeBron will take them.
Do you think they can win a championship with this team?
With the effort, with the way that the NBA kind of balanced itself out in this free agency, is it possible? Yes. Will it take an unbelievable effort from LeBron for it to happen? Yes. Like LeBron would have to do when they came back against the Warriors down 3-1. That's what they would have to have happen to win a championship, I think.
That was like 4 years ago.
Okay, I'm just saying that's what would have to happen. Like LeBron would have to carry this team tooth and nail to a championship. That's what I'm saying. It will go as far as LeBron will take it. Is it possible? Is it possible? Yes, anything is possible. Will it happen? We'll have to look and see.
I don't even know if they're better than Portland or Denver.
My position is not changing. They are as good as LeBron is about to make them this season. That could be a 30-win team. That could be a 60-win team. Seems
fair. I just don't see how they're anywhere near the Clippers. I don't see it.
I mean, it sounds like that's because you're giving up on LeBron. I'm not giving up on him. I'm just saying he is old as dirt. And he was so checked out last year. If he's checked out again this year, no, they're done. They're finished.
Hail to the king, baby.
Which is a good possibility.
Yeah, he's ready for Space Jam and stuff. So, who knows?
All right, Chad. Let's not keep the secret anymore. Who's this mystery team that's gonna beat the Clippers, Chad?
I feel like you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I feel like there's still a method to my madness.
Okay, here we go.
I feel like
Elton Brand has a plan.
How'd you know?
All right, come on.
I honestly, I don't think losing Jimmy was part of that plan. I think Jimmy was supposed to come back.
Oh.
But I'll be honest, when I first found out that Jimmy was forcing his way out, I was mad about it. I was like, oh, here we go. We needed Jimmy. We had to get Jimmy coming back in order to win. But then they made the trade, and I thought about it. I was still upset. I was like, Josh Richardson, that's all we got. So I was upset. And then I kind of I had the whole weekend and, part of the week to think about it. And I was like, you know what? The more I think about the lineup that they could put together, I'm not mad. Like, I feel like they had a good team last year. I feel like the lineup that they're putting, well, at least what we think is going to be this starting five, I feel like that lineup is going to be a good one.
They are who we thought they were.
First things first, Jimmy Butler, he's a crazy talented dude. Like, you're losing a pretty good player having to get rid of him. But then I looked at the numbers. If you look at Jimmy Butler's points last year, so Jimmy Butler scored 18 points a game. Josh Richardson scored 16 points a game. You're losing 2 points there. Jimmy Butler's 3-point percentage was 34%. Josh Richardson's was 35. It was actually 35.7, so we'll round that up and say 36. Then, they lost JJ. JJ goes, he gets in with New Orleans. And, I was thinking, man, who's going to be shooting threes? And I was like, you know what? JJ probably gave us, JJ gave the Sixers, he gave them 18 points a game last season. Which is like, man, that's a lot. When you think about it, you're like, yo, that's a lot to lose. 18 points a game. But at the same time, JJ was an absolute liability on defense. Like, yeah, JJ might have been giving you 18 points a game, but I'm willing to bet he was probably giving up about 18 points a game too.
You suck.
Before they traded for Richardson, they had gotten Al Horford in here. Al Horford's like 39 years old. Well, he's 33, but he feels like he's old as hell. I mean, then I looked into it. JJ's actually older than Al Horford. So, I mean, if you were going to bring back JJ, I don't see what, signing Al Horford doesn't do anything better for you. I mean, his 3-point percentage, I mean, he's not like a dead eye, but he was shooting 36% last year. He can hit open threes. So you're looking at a starting lineup of Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Al Horford, Embiid, and
Harris.
Yeah, Tobias Harris. I almost forgot they brought him back for a second. But Tobias Harris. So you probably have Ben's going to be playing the 1 on offense. Richardson's the 2. Harris will be your 3. Horford your 4, and Embiid your 5. On defense, I mean, Ben is big, but he can guard some point guards in this league. But he'll probably guard 3s or 2s. Tobias will guard 2s, and then you'll have Josh Richardson guarding point guards. Maybe they lost a little bit offensively, but I still think this Sixers lineup, they're going to give you 105, 110 points a game. But I think they're not giving up more than 95 points per game either. So those are still wins in my book. So I think they got better. I wanted Butler back. I wanted Tobias back, but I still think they got better with the moves they ended up making. Do I think they probably could have gotten a pick in with Josh Richardson? Not like a 1 or anything, but, a 2? They probably could have got a 2 from Miami, and that 2 is still going to be a pretty high pick, I think, too. Might be like in the top 10 of the second round. I would have maybe tried for that pick, but I like their starting 5. I think they're going to be good. I think this starting 5 lines up perfectly with what Brett Brown wants to do as a coach. He's a coach that wants to play defense and get out and run. Everybody on this team, with the obvious exception of Ben Simmons, can hit an open 3-point shot. Everybody on this team can play defense. And then when they get into the half court, get a lot of movement and drive the lane. That's what Brett Brown wants to do. Well, he wants to create open lanes. So I think they're going to be a good team. I think they got better, and they have a good chance of beating any team in the East and making a championship run. Am I going to call the championship right now? No, I don't. But I think they have a good shot.
All right, Chad. We're going to disagree. I'm going to explain why. The best thing I think they did was Richardson. I do like Josh Richardson a lot. He's a good defender. He can hit his shots. I think he's very underrated. He comes with a good contract. But one thing I do worry about is J.J. Redick and Joel Embiid had great chemistry on the offensive end. Did you know that they led the NBA in points per possession on dribble handoffs? It was the best combination in the entire NBA. Those two guys were great together in the offensive end. Now, can Richardson recreate that? Maybe. But Redick's shooting ability was something that they really can't replace.
It's not going to happen.
Now, can they cancel it out with Richardson better on the defensive end? Probably. So that one is fine. I'll let that one slide. I am, however, worried about Al Horford. I'm probably the only Celtics fan in America who hated Al Horford during his time with the Celtics. I couldn't stand the guy. Number one thing that pissed me off. He averaged 6 rebounds a game as Boston's starting center. That is not acceptable. He constantly gets bullied on the glass, and I can't stand watching him. For a Sixers team that needs extra possessions, he is not going to give you any. And he's going to give up a lot of them because he can't rebound the ball because he has no verticality left, and he's kind of soft. Can't stand him.
I want to say but that is okay. Because you're right. You know what? Horford didn't get a lot of rebounds as a starting center for the Celtics.
A lot of possessions they gave away last year.
But, yeah, that might be true. But at the same time, we have rebounding in other areas of our team. We're going to get boards from Embiid, and we're going to get boards from our point guard. What other team in this league is going to get as many rebounds from their point guard as we are? Maybe whatever team that Russell Westbrook ends up on. That's it.
Challenge accepted.
All right, I'm going to continue. Al Horford. His kind of skill set was as this glue guy who could sort of run an offense, and he could play make, and he's a pretty good passer, and he kind of makes his teammates better, and he's just does the right thing on the offensive end, but isn't that exactly what Ben Simmons does? Right? Ben Simmons is the guy who creates plays, and he's the playmaker, and he kind of makes his teammates better, and he's a good passer, and that's what Ben Simmons does. So now I have 2 of those guys. But the problem is, I don't have Jimmy Butler, who was the closer. I don't have that guy who, with 10 seconds left on the shot clock, go get me a bucket. I don't have that guy anymore. So now I question how Embiid and Horford are going to play together. And now I need Ben Simmons to be able to score because I'm losing a lot of points with Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler was a pretty good defender. Maybe not what he used to be, but still a pretty good defender. Where's the offense coming from? And third, I question how big they are. This is a small ball league. And sometimes it's good to zig when others are zagging. But I really haven't found a team recently that went super big and was really successful. I question how big they are because I question whether this Sixers team, you said it, they want to get up and down the floor and they're going to play good defense. Well, Al Horford's not getting up and down the floor very fast. He's going to slow your pace down. He did it last year with the Celtics. So I question the fit. I question his rebounding. I question his fit with the team. I think there's a chance that it goes south in a hurry. I don't like it.
Horford, there were some solid points on Horford. But I still disagree. When you're running the fast break, yeah, Horford may slow you down. But you're still going to get breaks where you got two on ones, 3 on ones. You're still going to get plenty of those. So, yeah, if your fast break gets stopped, if you get in on a 2-on-1 and your fast break gets stopped, then you got to wait for Al Horford to catch up. But I'm not worried about that.
Last thing, though. That contract is the Chris Paul contract. You better win now. Because 2 years from now, that thing's going to look real ugly.
No, absolutely. I think Elton Brand is in a win now mode. And I feel like, and that's one of the things I kind of felt like as a Philly fan these last few years, watching the Sixers in the postseason. We had Sam Hinkie, who was all about the future assets, building the future. And then we got rid of Sam Hinkie, and then we had Brian Colangelo, who was kind of like, he wasn't the opposite of Sam Hinkie, but he was right in the middle. Like, he did absolutely nothing, except for he traded up to get Fultz. That was the one thing he did. But, like, no other moves were really made with Brian Colangelo. Or if he did, I don't remember any that he did. But with Elton Brand, it feels like it's been the exact opposite of the spectrum than it was with Sam Hinkie. Elton Brand's like, well, we have Simmons, we have Embiid, that's our foundation, we have the process done, we're going for it. And that's the Jimmy Butler trade, the Tobias Harris trade, obviously what he did in the draft this year, the free agent acquisitions that he made. or for, the offseason he's had so far, he's ready to get the title now. He wants it now, and that's what he's going after.
So you're not worried, not one bit. Philly title
worried.
Contenders.
I'm not worried. Again, when I had to think about it for a little bit because at first I was skeptical. I was like, "Yo, what is Elton doing? He lost Jimmy. He's got this going. He's out Horford who."
No! God, please, no! No!
But I thought about it. I looked at the numbers, man. Again, Josh Richardson, he's only averaging 2 points less than Jimmy Butler was. Is he the same killer that Jimmy was? I'm not going to say that. But you know what? You're going to need your point guard to step up. And I like what I see out of Ben this offseason. He's not with the Jenners anymore. He broke up with her. He's been training with D. Wade. D. Wade he's been training with. I thought he was going to go end up and start training with Magic because he's been like Magic's butt buddy the whole time he was in L.A. But then he broke up with Kendall or Kylie, whichever Jenner he was dating. But now he's training with D. Wade. It's going to come in. Again, and I don't need Ben Simmons to shoot a three-pointer. I really don't. I really do not. I just need him to get a mid-range. Just a mid-range, Ben. That's all you need, and I'm good. D. Wade's going to give him that mid-range.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, you better win now. Because in about 2 years, Horford's going to look like a dinosaur.
Oh, yeah, if they don't win now, I'm going to be pissed. Like, 3 years down the line, we don't have a championship, and they don't have cap for anybody. I'm going to be like, thanks a lot, Elton. But I think they're going to win. I really do. I think they're going to win.
All right. I guess that leads me into the Celtics.
Yeah, it's a nice little segue for you.
I don't know what to make of them right now. I'm all over the place. One day I feel encouraged, like, yeah, we got Kemba Walker, and he's a killer, and did you see that run he went on during the NCAA tournament? Like, he's clutch, man. And Enes Kanter, he can really score inside. He can rebound the ball. I'm tired of soft-ass Al Horford who can't rebound. Now we got a guy who can really bully in the post, and all right, and Gordon Hayward's going to come back better, and the young guys are going to make a leap, and Tatum's going to be better without Kyrie, and Jaylen Brown's finally going to take that next step, and he's going to be the next Jimmy Butler, and we're back on.
Oh, this is just too good.
And then I think about it the next day, and I'm like, man, Tatum looks like Carmelo. He fucking sucks. And Jaylen Brown, he turns the ball over all the time, and he can't shoot, and Gordon Hayward is just never going to be the same, and I'm getting excited about Enes Kanter, and he's kind of a fucking weirdo, and Kemba Walker's a downgrade from Kyrie Irving, and Marcus Smart, he's a good defender, but then he does Marcus Smart things and chucks up shots, and I don't know. It could be either or. I think they could go to the finals, or they could be a 7 seed.
You suck.
I saw on Facebook the other day someone called Kemba Walker great value Kyrie.
I don't even know. What does that mean?
Great value is the Walmart brand.
So that's not good.
Yeah, so like when you go to Walmart and you're looking at the paper towels and you see Bounty and then next to it says great value, that's the brand made by Walmart. So it's good, but it's not the main brand. You know what I'm saying? It's not the name brand. It gets the job done. It's good, but it's not the one you want really.
I like Kemba Walker a lot. I don't think he's as good as Kyrie Irving. I question maybe he'll have better chemistry. I think it's possible. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm excited about losing Kyrie Irving compared to Kemba Walker. I think it's a downgrade. I don't know what to make of him. I really don't. And I never count out Brad Stevens.
I mean, that might be your saving grace there, Brad Stevens.
He makes every point guard he's ever had better. Every point guard he's ever had, or Avery Bradley, Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie Irving's numbers were better, and every point guard he's had has been better. And if I really think about it, like, God, who the hell was Kemba Walker playing with in Charlotte? Like, maybe he is better than we think he is.
I mean, it could be the opposite. It could be that there was no one else in Charlotte for Kemba Walker to give the ball to, so he had to be best.
Yeah. I have no idea what to make of him. I really don't.
And it's unfortunate because, honestly, the way I'm looking at the Celtics right now, I think they're going to be that middle of the pack team. They're going to be a stepping stone. They're going to play you hard. They're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to give you a run in the playoffs. Maybe make you sweat for a game or two. But I don't think they're ultimately going to be. I don't think they're in the conversation for the finals.
You could be right. You could be totally right. I have no idea. I really don't.
You have anything else for the Celtics?
Not really. I like the Summer League team.
Well, maybe you get to be Summer League champs. That'll tide you over until something else happens.
Taco Fall needs to make the roster.
The Nets will be really scary in 2020.
Yeah, that was my takeaway. I think I keep reading people like, oh, well, Kyrie Irving, he's just such a bad teammate, and Kevin Durant will never be the same, and why did you want DeAndre Jordan? And I don't get it. I think they're awesome. I think that team on paper should win a title. Now, will they? I don't know, but they should. They're loaded. They're other pieces with Karis LeVert's turning into a stud. And Joe Harris was the number 1 3-point shooter in the league last year. And Jared Allen's a really good young center. They were kind of like the Clippers of the East. They made Philly sweat a couple games in the playoffs, and that was really without those guys.
Yeah, you're right. I think a lot of people slept on the Nets, and I remember telling people I would go to the bar and I'd be talking about the Sixers. I'd be like, "Hey man, don't sleep on the Nets. D'Lo is the truth." Now, yeah, they obviously lost D'Lo, but
those other guys they had were really good.
Yeah, and I mean, again, they lost D'Lo, but they brought in Kyrie Irving, who, if he's not better than D'Lo, he's at least on the same level as him.
I think he's a lot better than him.
So, I mean, now for them, it's a matter of a waiting game. Like, you're obviously, I don't think, not going to win without Kevin Durant. So, once they get him healthy, 2020, look out.
Ice up, son.
And I think it's one thing, like, obviously DeMarcus Cousins didn't come back 100%, but Kevin Durant's, like, slender and skinny. It's not like he has extra weight on him.
Well, that's the thing, though, when it comes to, like, injuries. Like, the muscle helps prevent injuries. So he doesn't have that much muscle mass, so he's not able to, that at least that's one of the things they say for like trainers.
I feel like that's good. It's a good thing. Like if he was like 300-pound center like Cousins, I feel like it would be harder to get up and down the floor. But he's skinny. I don't see why he can't rebound easily.
Well, I mean that's true. You don't want to be on either end. You don't want to be too far on either end of the spectrum, though. Like Boogie Cousins is too big.
Yeah.
Whereas KD is too small. Like, he has to get to that middle point where he has enough muscle mass to prevent himself from getting injured again.
He could do that.
Well, we'll see. I don't think I saw... I would be hard-pressed to... If I walked into a gym in anywhere in the country and I saw Kevin Durant pick up a weight, I'd be shocked. I'd have to pinch myself and be like, oh, shit, am I awake right now?
It's true.
And that's not because I would be starstruck, just so you know.
I got you.
I mean, I guess that's enough about the Nets, but... if you're the Knicks, like, do you, like, just go home? Like, what do you do?
Giannis, 2021. He's coming.
Oh, my God, dude.
I've heard it. I've had it with the Knicks. I can't do it anymore.
Could you imagine the last month of being a Knicks fan? It started out as we're getting Zion and KD and Kyrie. They don't get Zion. Well, we're still getting KD. They don't get KD. Well, we can still get, literally, as they're saying, we can still get Kyrie, he signs a deal. If you're a Knicks fan, what do you do? Do you just not go to the games?
They're embarrassing. They really are. I couldn't understand it at the time, and I still don't understand it. They wasted 9 months talking about how the Knicks were going to wreck the league. And they ended up with Bobby Portis, Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton, and Julius Randle.
I love the Knicks memes that are out there. Like the one I saw was it was the Knicks general manager introducing the team, and it's 3 of the players from Coach Carter. It's his son, the Hispanic dude Cruz, and then one of the other guys. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
they're never going to win as long as James Dolan owns the team.
Well, that's what I was asking for. Like, if you're a Knicks fan, you gotta get a new, you can't, obviously can't force him to sell. I mean, unless he starts saying some racist stuff and someone records it, maybe, then you get the NBA to step in.
Yeah, you got to frame him for that. Somebody's got to frame him for that.
Yeah, get the NBA to step in, like they got the guy who used to own the Clippers. Maybe
I said this at the time. I still didn't understand why they traded Porzingis. You cannot trade him. I don't care if it costs you one of the free agents. Like, how in the world could you trade that guy?
I just don't know. And the worst part, too, is like the owner, I don't know if you saw this, but it was like maybe a couple weeks before the All-Star break, there was a Knicks fan that was, he booed the owner. And the owner banned him from the stadium.
Yeah, they banned the Daily News. They banned a whole media outlet from the NBA draft press conference.
I feel bad for Knicks fans, dude. I don't know who has it worse, like Cleveland football or the Knicks. Like, they should probably just get together and hug each other, because that's got to be the worst two fan bases to be a part of.
Washington, D.C. sports, they don't have it very good either. You got the Redskins, who've been fucking ass. The Nats have been nothing. The Washington Wizards, good hell.
Yeah, John Wall can't buy help.
Help me! Help me!
DC's been bad.
That's a good topic for a show. Like in the middle of the summer, once free agency dies down in the NBA and
worst sports towns.
Yeah, no, not or fan bases. Like, that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Worst fan bases to be a part of because your teams suck, not because you're an asshole.
That's a good idea for a future podcast. Do we have anything else? I don't buy the Jazz. What's so good about the Jazz? Oof. Bojan Bogdanovic going to save them. Stop it. Pacers. Think they could be okay? Maybe. I like Brogdon. Thought he got a little bit overpaid. Terry Rozier, good hell, I can't believe Charlotte. Who's the worst executive, LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
I don't know. I think Jordan just kind of does it just to do it at this point. I don't think he really cares.
Phoenix Suns gave Ricky Rubio like $60 million. Okay. All right, Chad, what else we got? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you can think of anything else.
Nah.
All right, well, then don't forget to give me a follow at Lilfooted, LILFOOTED. Don't forget to follow Trey at Treydaubert, TREYDAUBERT. Give us a like on Facebook, VendettaSportsMedia.com, and follow us on Twitter, Vendetta_media. That way you can check out all the podcasts, all of Trey's articles, any kind of updates. When I run the Twitter, the hilarious tweets are always a bonus too. But anyway, thanks for giving us a listen, and we'll see you next week.